Pull out the Twitch chat. This, don't need this either. May or may not need this. Let's rename this. It's 2022.0204. Then if I can grab the chat from each of these, pop chat, pop out. All right, I grabbed one from YouTube. Doing a slight pivot. It's kind of a pivot, kind of not really. I think Ludum Dare is approaching on April. And there's 2 months left, less than 2 months actually. So I figured I would start doing a little bit of some refactoring. I think my template Unity project has just gotten so bloated. So there's a few things I wanted to do. One crazy idea is like to start ripping out a couple of binary files that I didn't realize were really, really large, and re-exporting the project and basically just nuking the entire Git history so that I can take those stuff out. That's a potential idea. But I'm not going to go anywhere near that drastic today. What I do plan on doing is trying to grab trying to create some more Unity packages, split off a lot of the tools that I sort of created for the template Unity project and actually turn them into their own packages so that they're a little more useful than just this massive project that has everything and has become incredibly slow as a consequence, slow at compiling, that is, as a consequence of it. So actually, like, doing some small performance enhancement stuff. To be completely honest, I'm not exactly super optimistic at how far I'll get. Here's currently the template project that I have. I'm not super optimistic on how far I will be able to make it to versus but my end goal, I guess, is to be able to refactor this to a significant point where one significant factor to a point where like the menus are now its own package, and the menu framework I have for it is significantly expanded upon. So it's no longer this massive, you see this loading menu here, it's this massive package. I'm hoping instead of doing something like that, to be able to switch to like each menu is its own scene and basically load and unload scenes. So that's my eventual goal. I'd like to be able to add in those sort of stuff, but the menu system itself has a lot of dependencies, and I've been it's basically just sort of reviewing the code a little bit to see what those dependencies are. Scene transition is one of them. I believe time manager is then another dependency on scene transition manager. So those two are the big ones. Translations is another one. I hope to just completely nuke my own translations and use Unity's built-in localization instead. So, I hope to do a massive refactor on that, and that's going to be an absolute nightmare. But that's the hope, and I am clipping really badly. Any better? Okay, so hopefully that keeps me from clipping my voice audio. Um, so yeah, the goal for me at the end of this 2 months is to basically refactor out all the build things there. I think I could move that out, to be honest, into its different folder. But I want to make the menus its own thing. Um, and then, like, I don't know, from there, maybe I can further expand upon it. Uh, I think that's like the biggest script effort. Oh, there's also audios too. I also hope to nuke the pooling manager stuff, since Unity now has its own pooling library, object pooling library. Pop-ups, resizer, yeah, these are both menu related. Serialized containers, platform specific controls. I don't know what this is. I guess I'll find out what that is. Clean info. I do know what that is, and that's not very useful. Singleton. This is actually used the most useful one. Audio mixer reference. Camera. Camera manager. That would be nice if I can pull that out. But yeah, scene transition manager. As I understand it, the menu manager relies on the scene transition manager. Oh, there's socials too. Anyways, scene transition manager, I believe, relies on time manager. So I'll need to refactor the time manager out into its own tool first, um, which shouldn't be too hard to do. I think I'm going to do it something similar to web security. Um, I'm debating on whether I want to follow the same concept as web security. Like, so web security here has all these useful data in it, but I kind of want to make it like time, um, Unity's time static class, where it's just a static class with a bunch of useful variable calls. Um, yeah, so I might actually like go back with web security, um, and update things that way, but whatever. Uh, these are more scripts. They're sounds. Okay. I don't know why. Oh, settings are here under Omiya Games. That actually makes sense. I kind of want to keep that. Some utility libraries here. There's like, I don't even know what these are. I don't think this is useful anymore. Yeah, this was an old bug from, I don't think we need that anymore. The nested scroll rect. Um, this was a scroll rect inside a scroll rect. I'm fine leaving some of these here in the project. It really doesn't do anything good or bad. These shaders needs to be thrown out. Uh, definitely was made for the old stuff. Anyways, so the easiest thing, I'm pretty darn sure. Let me take a quick look at Time Manager. I am pretty darn sure that this doesn't depend on anything else except isingleton script, which which I don't think Time Manager needs to extend off of. Um, or to custom timescale. This is grabbing the game settings. Oh, it depends on game settings for some reason. Oh, I see why. Hmm, that's actually a good reason, isn't it? Okay. In the near future, I want to go back to saves as well. Save is just literally a copy and paste. And I don't like that. I've been meaning to change saves significantly, but the way I want to change game saves is actually quite significant. Like the reason I'm thinking menu is going to take a really long time is partially because of game saves. Um, any save data needs to be associated with the options menu. So I'm thinking about actually splitting the menus into two parts, one for options and one for just general settings. Um, or at least, menus that relies on actual save data versus menus that doesn't. So that's something that I'm trying to keep in mind. Um, Vert to custom timescale. Um, it pause for temporarily change timescale for update real time. Yeah, I think time manager and actually camera manager could be split. Debating on that. Um, yeah, I think they could be split. Camera manager is weird because it needs an instance of the camera itself in the scene, um, which I'm not a huge fan of. Yeah, I'll worry about the camera manager stuff later. I think the camera manager will. So I've been trying to switch to like the model view controller thing. I might change the camera manager to a model instead, which would make a lot more sense to me, since that's expected to be a runtime object. But time manager, I think, can be like a static object, um, given you know, it's just a project-wide set of settings. So, anyways, my approach to this would be heading to GitHub. Doo-doo-doo. Oh, I need to sign in. Herp-de-dur. I'll be right back. How embarrassing. I thought I would be a little more prepared. Two-factor authentication. Boo-boo-boo. Boo-boo-boo. Where's my two-factor? Okay, GitHub is this. Okay. Let's switch back to my dev screen. Hooray! My repositories. It's under Omiya Games. I am probably going to make this. Use this template. Probably going to make this private for the time being. Let's call it Time Manager. That's not how my sorry, this is being a little anal here, but okay, so this is the typical project name I go by, Omiya Games Dash. We don't want builds. We want time. Time. Yeah, that's a good call. Settings for time management. Copy all branches. No, I'm fine. Generating repo. I'm keeping it private for now. I will publicize it. I'll open source it very shortly. Well, not very shortly, but shortly after I feel comfortable that this project is done. But yes, all right, sweet. This is a good template project to get started on. Yarp, yarp, yarp. Let's grab the code. So packages, list what's in there. Let's say make dir. That's not how it works. Get some module. Yeah, get some module add. I'm trying to remember how this works. I know I can just read the man page. I just find this a lot easier. Okay, so you don't specify. I thought you do specify a folder. Okay, I guess you don't. Make dir Omiya Games. Let's call it time. Then it's get the module. Add this URL. That was a mistake. That was bad. How do I reverse that? Owning a project with some modules. Um, let's say I do this. ls Okay. What's inside Omiya Games? Ah, okay. Remove here. Um, then git move to for consistency. Get submodules, git add. Oh. Oh, it's already set to be committed. Working on refactoring a time manager into its own package. Okay, git status. I think that looks good. Let's say git flow feature start time manager. Before I do that, oh, interesting. Git flow feature list. No feature branch exists. Okay. I thought it did. I thought it did. Let me look into that because that doesn't sound right to me. There's a saves feature. Okay. I'll I'll get to that. I'll have to close Unity. I really want to utilize that, but that's fine. Get status. That's fine. That's what I expected. And now, do want this. Um, have this do some silly buckaroo thing. Um, where's my time package? It's not anywhere. Hmm. Why would the time package not be anywhere? Well, it claims it's somewhere in here, which is really strange to me. Um, oh, because it's a template. That's haha funny. Name. What what have I typically been doing? Calling these saves. Okay. Time. Organization name. I would prefer if you go by this version. Let's just say 1.0 pre, I think. Yeah, apply. I think the time manager is fairly stable, in stark contrast to saves here. So feel fairly confident labeling it that way. This is 2021. It is a minor release of 2 with 10 applied. Package for managing time in runtime environment. Dependencies. That's a good one. Because I do need global and common. Oh, you're not letting me copy any of this. 1, 1, 1. I think it's just 0 if memory is correct. No, global is also 1, 1. This relies on web for some reason. Common though certainly makes sense. Yeah, I will want to reference common directly. Oh, this is for saves. Saves will also need to be updated, but are not the focus of my stream today. Oh, did I accidentally edit this package? Did I edit this package? No. Oh, it literally just did not save my settings. Cool. Cool, Unity, thanks. Because it is type tool, which is fine. Bunch of runtime examples. I don't think I'll need. I may need it if I go the same. I don't think I'll need tests for now. So yeah, I'll probably be tests. This will be time. I'll need global. There are only 2 I need reference. this accordingly. Get rid of this. Yep. I'm not expecting to write tests in time and in your future. Actually, I kind of regret that. Let's undo that if we can. Okay, this doesn't give me the options. Interesting. Nope, no matter. A bunch of git add, git restore tests. Alright, that should have brought back some of those. Oh, I should use case. Yeah. Boop, 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 boop. This one should say time tests. Is it saying that for every constraint? This all looks right. This all looks right. This all looks almost right. This all looks right. It looks right. All right. So I don't think I'll need this. Basically just delete all this of scripts. That readme is gonna have to change, but I'm not interested in that. This license will entirely. 22 do, which I know is really silly, but well, actually, you know, what did this used to say? License used to say 2019. Fine, I'll work with that. Not exactly the most accurate, but whatever. Initial release. Something to that effect. Yeah. Some of these it detects are renamed, while others it doesn't. Why does it detect this as a rename, but not the meta file? Sorry. Oh, the meta files might be on purpose, actually. Emptying the template code. All right, git flow init dash d. Yes, that looks good. Now in the development branch, what changes should I make? The first incredibly destructive and scary thing I could do is literally just drag and drop file to runtime. See what horrible compilation errors I get. I am not seeing any. That is a good sign. Okay. So that's good, I guess. Oh, it moved it into global. No, that's not where I want you to go. There. Okay. Um, that looks good. Not saved. Web security as the web domain verifier that file, which I kind of want to copy from. Um, Before I do that, yeah, moving moving time manager from template project this package. Good. Publish that branch. What happens if I do that? Oh, it just takes it. Sweet. Oh, nice. Alrighty, so that's gone. Before I open that, want this here. Yes, this has been a file since available since 2014. I am so many like bizarre comments here on YouTube. So many spammy comments anyways. So what does Web Domain Verifier use? And is it something that, okay, so it's a scriptable object. Um, the global project itself was intended to later at some point figure out like how to create this settings file working along with an editor to extend. Um, oh, weird. Why does Visual Code not provide a way to collapse this? I thought you did. You could you? I see. Interesting. So I don't know why those foldouts are not formatted correctly. I'll worry about that far later. Uh, um, so it looks to me like here it's not very useful. Um, yeah, it's not very useful reading this to me because there isn't anything in here that makes me go like that is worth sharing. Um, the only thing that is worth sharing is sort of like a static get function. Um, I'm debating on that, but the editor script for this, the Web Domain Verifier editor script, where's the Web Domain Verifier editor script? Here, and the property drawer is on GUI and does all these fun stuff. Web Domain Verifier, uh, serialized object, post to help. So this one's a deliberately minimalistic thing. And then finally, this settings provider. Oh, there's a settings helper. No definition found. I bet you that's global. Attempts to grab the asset file. Create settings provider. Settings provider. It's static. Okay. Oh, interesting. Asset file name. Where is asset file name coming from? This const. And this UXML path. So it can't be, and these are all static stuff too. On activate. Okay, interesting. Kinda don't want to do a lot of copy and paste for this. There's so many static functions in here that doesn't make sense. I'm using helper functions too. Okay. So I may just have to copy and paste this along with all these other bunch of things. Fine, so be it. I'll work on that. Um, so right. Um, doesn't make sense for me to make a time thing. Yeah, I don't, who cares about, I don't think anyone uses my template code, so I'm kind of fine with like nuking this. Um, I'll be significantly less fine in any other context, but since this is my own project and the goal is to get it out by Ludum Dare, I'm gonna go right on ahead and start nuking a couple of things. Probably to the chagrin of myself. Um, Hopefully after this I'll be able to push everything into the original file or original Omiya Games project. This is just my fork of it and I'm trying to extend it and eventually merge everything later. It's quite it's quite an endeavor. Um, so right. How did the web domain verifier do this? did so by describing, specifying all of these serialized fields. That's the important part. Then some other stuff. Where is this being used? It's not being used here? It's being used here? Oh, okay. Being used here. Interesting. Uh, ugh. Ugh. Okay. Do follow a similar format. Cool. Pause. Manually paused. I see. It's interesting to me the time scale here. Oh, because it's supposed to be custom. Okay, interesting. So I do want to have that directly. Makes sense. Um, I was originally thinking like making some of these trackable variables. And I'm still thinking that. Wouldn't be the weirdest thing for me to do. That's interesting. So timescale can be changed unless it is paused. Sorry, I'm just thinking through the kind of changes I would want to make with this. Singleton awake, which tries to grab the original timescale, then attempts to update, call a singleton update in real time, which it calls update real time. Right, I did that. I did that for performance reasons. And now I have feelings. So, so you might notice that I just there's an event called on real time update, and I just associate what would happen on just generally speaking normal, you know, just normal update calls. That is due to Unity's own documentation. Apparently, having each script call update is slower than just having one script call update, then run the functions of all the other scripts. There's actually an overhead when you do that. And I'm right now debating if that's something I want to sacrifice or not. Um, I think it makes the code harder to. Yeah, I think it makes the code harder for me to read. Okay. Yeah, the rest of these looks fine to me. Um, yeah, since I do want to abandon this high singleton script, but this does have to be a mono behavior. That's interesting. So the problem I see then is default hit pause duration, and that's it. Okay, this is simpler than I thought. The problem I'm identifying is actually simpler and less more mundane thought, so that's good. Revert to custom timescale. So this has a dependency of saves settings. So that's to make sure that that package dependency is added in. Does in fact need this. And where is right now? Yes, apply that, but please tell me what version saves is that. That doesn't tell me. I need this. Saves is at 0.1, 0.1.0. 0.1.0 exp. That exp plus 1? Because I can't copy and paste, I have to actually go back and do the stupid thing. I don't That seems really strange to me. Like, why can I not copy and paste? Like, I hit control and it immediately just unhighlights. That's how bad it is. I'll test. It worked. Okay. Well, if it works, then fine. Whatever. Um, yeah, so I'm thinking that I'm going to convert time manager because time manager, so I'm going to need something to appear here like web security settings. So that's goal number one. Um, then goal number two is to update time manager so that it's basically like a static singleton, static instance that doesn't need to be attached to the singleton object. And I have a few ideas on how to do that so that you can grab its instance and do whatever. Uh, so that you can call all of these functions that I have as if it's static. And I don't think that'll be too hard to do. Yarp, and then just do some fancy things and I'll be good to go. So yeah, let's see if I can. I don't need it from saves, but I do need it from web security. There is a web domain verifier. I'm going to duplicate that right under runtime here. I'm going to create some problems, but I'm not too concerned. Let's say time settings. Bunch of good comments there. Okay, uh, this summary is still relevant, so don't want singleton though. Uh, this info is still useful. Today is 2/4. Actually, maybe I do want this. Then I can get rid of that, and we'll be good. Have an initial version here, 1.0.3, and it is February 4th version. 2022 time settings dot yes. Sure, saves is going to have a problem with that, but it's in a different namespace, so it's good. It's all good. And this is just going to be simple. Stores the settings for time manager to access. I don't think I need a region for properties at this point. Like, why would I want the programmer to be able to edit that? I could see somebody wanting to set that variable for some reason. I'll worry about it later. And here it's the default hit pause duration. Let's see if this works. Then this case, make sure that none of these are important. But that is the default hit pause duration. I want to put that into a settings. I'll worry about putting in settings much later. Let's just make this a simple. There's no reason trackable then. Sure to always specify what units you're looking at. The duration of hit pause. Yeah, I think that should do it. Now I just need to figure out how to get Time Manager, grab a reference of this in runtime. I'm going to take a pause and return after these messages, I guess. Okay. Turn back. Right, those were the changes I've made. Okay, so some of the big changes I want to be able to do is figure out, and it's going to be interesting how I'm going to test this. I have a few ideas. Yeah, I have a few ideas. I can pull this off. So, my thought process is how does the settings provider, so it grabs an asset's name from a new, no, that's not how it works. Um, Property drawer, that's a little more telling. Draw the disabled object field, determine draw X, reset, web domain settings provider dot asset. Okay, go to definition. Does it actually let me? Okay, no, it doesn't. Assets, here, assets uses the set Omea Games settings from settings provider, settings helpers. If I had to guess, settings helpers isn't global. And it may be an editor file. It is an editor file. Where it's a scriptable object. That's a create. What about get? Get full Mia Games path. That's fine. Asset database, load asset at path. It's an asset database file. Settings. Otherwise, create. I see. There has to be a similar runtime. Unity runtime get asset from path name. So asset database, I am pretty darn sure is an editor file, right? Get scriptable object by path. What does get scriptable object by name? Wow, that's not very useful at all. That's not useful either. I don't want to use resources. Is this something where I have to use, like, no, that doesn't make any sense. Why would I want to use that? Um, oh, I'm not too about that error message. Build that time. Develop. Right. Of course, I'm gonna have to do a bunch of these things. Um, actually, in seriousness, what does the read file look like here? It has a weird Ko-Fi, which looks terrible, and an open UPM, which doesn't look bad. So I want to add a badge. It probably would the additional Ko-Fi or whatever, or open UPM. There we go. I can speak. Unity get asset from path. How do I get asset path to load an asset? Oh, do I need to do that? Because that would suck if I have to. Like that at all. Addressable asset settings profile at runtime. How to get path or label after asset loading. How to get asset path and to load an asset without asset database. I think you need to load and tell the script the path directly. That's not cool. That's the case. Hmm. What's a different way of doing this? Because this is a settings provider. That's ultimately what I'm aiming. Oh, that's so weird. Is that a gnome behavior? I'm hitting control. I think I know what it is. Oh, that's so stupid. Um, yeah, it's telling me where the mouse is. Natural scroll. That's fine. Um, Animations, cursor size, default, screen, sound key, visual, cursor blinking while typing. Yes, do that. Repeat. locate pointer. What happens if I do that? Okay. Oh, that might have solved my copy and paste problem. Oh, no, no. Please say it isn't so. That sucks. Okay, well, now I discovered the reason why it's so hard to copy and paste on Unity. That should help. Recover path information for an asset. This does imply I should use something like addressables. Um, I have mixed feelings about that. But that's if I'm using the scriptable object. How does... So I have a couple of different ideas. Um, I'm not sure I like that too much. What if, is there Unity project prefs? Like, player prefs. Okay, so it's a different thing on a different place. Interesting. There it's in the init parser. Interesting. So Unity doesn't have one by default. Interesting. Oh yeah, let's read the addressables documentation and see if I can get a better understanding of this. Because this was something that I did look up and it was very confusing to me. I'm not gonna lie. Tools to script and to organize and package content for your application, API to load assets at runtime, to load and release assets at runtime. When you make an asset addressable, you can use that asset's address to load it from it, whether that asset resides in flexibility, dependency management, memory management, content packing, adding addressables to an existing project. You can adopt addressables to an existing Unity project by installing the addressables package. To do this, you need to assign addresses to your assets and refactor any runtime loading. Be upgrading assets for more. Although you can integrate addressables at any stage in project development, Unity recommends start using addressables immediately in new projects to avoid unnecessary code refactoring and content. Fine. Um, so it talks about actually, sure, don't want any of this. No. Installation to install the addressables. Blah. Create addressable settings. How do you do that from a package level though? Building addressable assets. New clean build. Oh, content distribution. Incremental content update. This doesn't look like what I want. The same way I can use resources folder, which I don't want to use resource folder, just generally speaking. There's just a, why? You run a create addressable settings command that addresses system, creates a folder called addressable assets data, stores settings file and other assets used track of addresses. Setup, you should add the files in this folder in your source control. Note that addressables can create additional files as you change your addressables creation, the addressable settings for more information about the settings themselves. Making an asset addressable. Click the addressable box in the assets inspector. Is there a runtime way to do this? How many addressables settings am I allowed to have? Because this one's for the package. Unity addressables package. Addressables usage within the package form. Yes. How does one utilize an addressable group stored in a package? I would assume you could just add the group to the main project's addressable list, but I can't seem to make that work. Well, progress towards something useful almost. Um, general, the setup is built with the assumption that the customer is familiar with addressable UI. Based on feedback, we'll investigate how to make the steps automated. As described above, this is March 26, 2021. It was only last year. Two ways to import the package group asset. Importing the package after addressable is installed. The addressable settings object is created will allow the package. Importing packages before addressable is installed and addressable pipe. Manually adding However, as noted above, it is not possible to modify the schema asset. The package is invisible. This is an issue. This sort of sucks. Hmm. Like the resources method, I know works, so that might actually end up being the method I use, which I don't like. Um, I don't like it, but I know it works. That's the problem. So marking assets and packages as addressables should work. That's not what I'm trying to achieve though. Um, hmm. Questions, questions, questions. Okay. This is tougher than I thought. Um, so the way the whole web domain verifier works is you have to specify a serialized variable. So here it's a serialized object web domain verifier. Um, but there's a code right here. So you just have to say serialized field web domain verifier, then call all the things, and it will work automatically. I kind of wanted to make it so that Time Manager didn't have to follow that same route, but I don't see a way around this. That is kind of sucky. Um, yeah, I don't see a way around this problem yet. So I know the web domain verifier method works just fine. So it may just be that I'll follow the same route in this case. Um, like I can't even describe how disappointed I am at that, but alas, I think it is the one method that I know works. Um, However, at least that does reveal some potential places for refactoring, since these two files are going to be basically following the same paradigm. Um, I just have to figure out a way to make this figure out where they share their code. In other words, um, like this property drawer, for example, could probably be refactored, I think. Yeah, so here's the object field. It's grabbing the object somewhere. Object position, um, property, serialized property itself, and the label. Okay. Um, oh, derp. There's a reset. Pardon me. Okay, so there's a project path right here that needs to be specified. The asset, um, set asset needs to be applied. Interesting. Okay, so a couple of interesting things. Um, right, I'll need to update this as well. It shouldn't be too hard to do. Um, then this itself really doesn't need to change that drastically. The settings provider, um, this will change dramatically between, yeah, this will change dramatically between which ones I'm using. So, um, yeah, I don't want to, this is the only one. So I'll want to copy all three of these. Um, but in particular, these two, I think, the web domain property drawer and web domain verifier editor, these could probably be refactored into their own file, into their own abstract class implementation. That would heavily simplify the amount of work that I need to do here. So, um, yeah, and I think both of them have global in common, so I'll probably want to move this file into global. Um, but yep, it should be fairly simple and straightforward. Cool. I have a path forward. Not the path I like. It's not the path I like, but it is the path I need. It was the property drawer and the verifier, right? Pretty darn sure. Yep. Throw this under editor. Um, this very much needs to be bumped. Well, I kind of leave it at 1 for now. We'll call this settings. Editor is settings provider, I see. One is settings property drawer. I expect both of them cause problems. Yeah, I do want to bump this app actually. But this one doesn't rely on global 1, but 2. I think cryptography is now at. Common is also at 1, right? Pretty darn sure. It's 1.1. Yeah, it's 1.1. I'm pretty darn sure cryptography is also at 1.1 because of the documentation. No, it's still at 1.0. Surprise. Okay. This one is 241.20, and this appears at 2022. This is also 2022. Whoops, I didn't. Have I actually updated these years? No, I didn't. Oh, that one's correct. This one is not updated. Whoop. This is a project settings asset. That can be edited in the project settings window. If you're using a version control, remember to add this asset. Oh. They do not have access to Web Domain Verifier, so the one place that does be specified here, and also just to make things consistent, we don't need private, so no real reason to make these public in any way. Asset path. Yes. This will go under global. Also, I don't think we need any of this. Yeah, we don't use even any of this. Auto sets a serialized field. Two, four, over. Wow, all the copy and paste problems I've had, gone. um, Knowing that hurts. Knowing it was just that hurts right now. Uh, draws an uh, draws a message and a button prompting user to open project settings window. The path to the scriptable in the assets folder. Reset. Edit asset via project settings dialog. Fine, I'll leave it public. I think I've been keeping it public most of the time anyway, so fine, whatever. So there's a settings provider asset and settings project settings path. This is interesting. What's the difference between all of these subdomain file, project settings path? I might want to rename this actually, but whatever. Hello, hello to Garvosh. Is a little 4 minutes late in responding. Apologies. I am doing a lot of programming. It's basically preparing for Ludum Dare, which isn't until quite a while. I think it's on April Fool's, but I figured I'd get a good head start on it. Um, Trying to set up an Unity project that would make me happy to start working on for that game jam. Who knows? Hopefully, I have the energy to stream during that. Um, I also discovered why I was having a hard time copying and pasting. Uh, and now life is so much better. And I feel really stupid for not figuring out what that problem was. Darn you, GNOME, for having such specific quirks. That makes any sense. This I'm gonna leave alone. Um, so I want something like this. Uh, on GUI, in and properties, does a whole bunch of things. This needs to change. Um, Reset. Set the asset. Okay. So I probably want to abstract this too. Protected, abstract, reset. Actually, this doesn't, yeah, there's no reason for that to be private to be. And we feed it the property because that appears on OnGo. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, kind of don't want to touch that. All right, cool. So then, now that I have all that set up, I will probably want to commit that if I'm to be completely honest. Um, Where is that under? That's under global, right? That's under global. And we upgraded the version to 2. We're adding these 2 new neat files. Working on refactoring some files from web security package to here. So it can be shared with other settings packages. Yeah. One day I will remember to push those changes. One day. Don't show again for meta files. Meta files doesn't need ever. What changes did that change? I changed it from common to global. That's good. Now that I have the settings provider for this, that common editor. I also need one for global editor. I don't need common editor to be completely honest, because this this does not take care. This takes care of most. Here, so this is extending property drawer. I'm going to remove that entirely. Format document. Get rid of all this. Almost all of it, anyways. Public override string. Okay, what are you doing? Asset path. That looks good. All right, that looks good. We'll inherit that. And we simply need to implement this. Public override reset. The property update. Inherit doc. Then I think that's it. Don't need this anymore. Look how much shorter that code is. Now I'm just gonna make it longer by adding in documentation. At this point, I think it's a 1.2. Yeah, where's the package at? The web security is 1.1. I mean, it's pre-battle tested at this point. I'm not too concerned. Yeah, I'd say it's very much battle tested at this point. So I can just set this to 1.1. Not care too heavily. It is not 4.4, it is 2.4. Refactor code to that probably will not render, but whatever. Actually, there's a better way. A Domain Verifier editor. That looks good. I think that's a yes. What did I change? Yeah, that's a yes. Update to documentation. Web Verifier editor. Settings editor. That looks, yes, that looks right to me. And the only thing that I needed to fix here was literally just this. Override, that can be fixed. Good old grab the path, and you all are good. And update the documentation. I think it's 1.1. Yeah, 1.1. 2, 4, 22. All right, that should do the job. I don't know why these double appear. Doesn't even need any of those. It does need global editor. I think it does need Unity editor, and that's it. Yeah, that's just it. Didn't think that needs Unity engine. I don't think that even engine. Settings editor, type or namespace. Editor does not currently exist. That is true. Turn flag, I don't care about that. Fixing typo. How embarrassing. Um, I'll need to like actually compile this, see if everything is working correctly. We'll say at this point WebSecure can probably it's 2021.2, yes, yeah. I think that's correctly updated. And make the global package 1.210 is this current version, the 2020. Updating Unity version. Finalize the factor editor script refactor to global package. Not sure why it's not asking me to commit on global. Git merge develop. Sure. Um, this is awkward. I have this develop branch. Um, Git merge head into, there we go. Git checkout, create a new branch. Yeah, that makes sense. Um, temp merge. Then I don't want to publish that. I should, however, make a very simple. All right, so quick emergency. um, trying to fix this git merge problem because I don't want to lose all my work. Uh, Maybe I'll pull a change log. Starting changes on the change log for the sake of actually committing something. Git branch, there are 3, that's good. Git checkout, develop, git merge, temp merge. Okay, good. That's all everything that I needed. Then yes, sync the settings. Oh, wait, what? That's disappointing. All right, well, I can do that here. Pretty darn sure I can do it from here. Hmm. What's going on? Is it actually taking its sweet time, or yeah, let's do a that's fairly fast. So then template packages global. Huh, what happened? Wait a minute. Oh, that's not correct. Why is this set up that way? I'm actually kind of confused. Why is it set up that way? Does not compute. Um, yeah, give me a minute. Let me try fixing this real quick. Uh, how incredibly confusing. Why? There we go. That up. That implies that the .git module file, correct. Why is the .git module file incorrect? Why would that be the implication? And it doesn't even show up here. Okay, I guess that was to be expected. Nano.git modules. URL global is the only one that uses HTTP. That's not acceptable. The slightest. Okay. Okay, that's correct. All right, fixed it. That was really confusing as to why that didn't work the way it was intended, but okay, whatever. Oh, I see why. updating package settings with new refactor from from web security time updates time package. All right, with all that set up, what changed here? Okay, I might as well. Adding strange material updates. Packages and I think global is done, so I need to go to time. Right. We will go back to global later and push a new package. As soon as I'm done with the time file, which right now it's not going to be working well, but now that I have these files set up, I should be able to just copy and paste most of these, with an exception of web domain. Well, I'm going to copy and paste a web domain provider anyways. That that doesn't that I won't. Time settings. Out of curiosity, this is under project Omega game. That how that came about? Of course, you're not very useful. Web domain verifier. Something doesn't feel right. Project Omega web setting. Something doesn't feel right. Because that's not where. Oh, that's not where the asset path is. That is horribly named. Okay, I'm gonna have to do a quick refactor because that does not make me happy. That naming scheme, that so confusing. So what I poorly understood. This is not an asset path. This is supposed to be the path right here. So there's a root path project, then there's Omiya Games, then there's web security. Bad, 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 bad naming scheme. My end of things. Um, the uh, the name this settings will here And, uh, yeah, the name this setting will appear in the project settings left sidebar. Um, sidebar display name, sidebar display path. There. That makes me happy. Wow, you did absolutely nothing. I wonder why. Uh, bu- 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 asset. I bet you that's somewhat less important. Um, outright false. Now that's true. Um, then, uh, while I'm at it, I might as well make the edit real quick. No reason for it to be complicated than that. Or nonsense. If you're not giving me like either proper English or proper Japanese text, I'm just gonna be Let's go back here. I'm gonna take the somewhat lazy route. Go down. That. Editor property spider. I also need. Just gonna duplicate all that. Okay, it didn't like that, but that's fine. Um, then yeah, just everything. Visual tree. How is it recognizing this style? Like, what happens if I click on open? Okay, you gave me the UI verifier. That's cool, I guess. Oh, add existing. Oh, come on. If I just like, you know, edit this. This is going to be so weird because I want time manager. Okay, time settings is object. Um, so no, I want time manager editor. And I'll explain my. Looks like this property drawer, settings provider. So there's this description message, which I think is I'll probably want to add one more somewhere in here. Uh that indicates like code, whatever. Um take advantage provider. Don't want to prevent it. Yeah, there we go. I think that's good. Uh, just adding then. I had this really well documented somewhere. Don't remember. Oh, there it is. Um, so I need one. Gonna be just that. Pretty darn sure that. See if that works. And of course it won't, because this explaining that this doesn't exist should be really easy to solve, because I just need to add this namespace. That'll be good. I feel like there's a better way to handle this. Well, I don't know why it's getting stuck for some reason. That was very interesting. Cool. Initial version. I didn't even notice that. Um, and I need to at some point. Oh, that's great. I'm an amazing speller. This needs to change time. These will be needed. This needs time manager as well. Um, I think that will be a better name. And similarly, I am thinking that uh, uh, that's such a technical name. Technical. Um, like how does Unity packages um, ls dot 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 project settings? They're camel cased assets. Okay, then that's what I'll follow. Um, they don't necessarily have the word settings in it, like input manager, set manager, tag manager, then project settings, virtual control settings. So they're all over the place. I think I'm gonna go with settings. I think that just makes sense. Then I'll do some that probably won't have people ever. This is unlikely to run, but I'm gonna risk it. Uh, what is it complaining about? It doesn't have. That's true. It doesn't. No, it does. That's not true. That's web security. Now, are you happy? That should significantly do, but I still expect some. All right, yes, this is what I expected. Um, I am honestly just gonna not bother this for now. It's not important for a different reason. That's a time manage editor. This is true. And I have to comment that out. Reference to time manager could not be found. Is there an assets? No, there isn't. So I don't know why it's complaining about that. I do know why it's complaining about that. It's complaining about the fact that I don't have this set up. Why does music time? Oh, okay. That makes a little more sense. I kind of wish I didn't do that, but whatever. This doesn't surprise me too. Oh. Hmm. I'm starting to think the namespace time was a really bad idea. Yeah, this is really bad. And it makes sense why it's complaining about that. Okay. I need to come up with a new name besides time. Maybe time scale, like a new good namespace. Time project? Dot time? Pause. Time I could just add an R, which then kind of basically. Oh, that doesn't really work. Um, Time settings. I think that works. I think that works. Yeah, that works. I'd have to kind of rename the entire project a little bit, but I'm not. and nothing, or because it is so new, nothing really relies on this. Oh wait, what? To Cosmic Cushy Cushy, hello. I completely forgot I had that Nightbot running. Hold on a minute. That Nightbot doesn't need to be running anymore. I'm sorry. Don't mean to like create the most annoying shenanigans. Her, I thought I disabled that Nightbot for a while now. Anyways, let me delete that message. Oops. That was completely and utterly unnecessary. Uh, so many things are just going wrong. So, anyways, I was explaining that what I'm doing right now is setting up for what's the word I'm looking for? Preparing for Ludum Dare. It's not for quite a while, if I'm to be completely honest. Um, it starts around April 1st, if memory serves correct, which I know uh, certainly is a questionable time period, but alas. All right, that should have fixed that. So yeah, I'm putting my I do have an actual project, that an indie game project I'm working on, but I'm putting that on pause. I am on Ubuntu. No, I am on Arch Linux. Pardon me, not Ubuntu. This is GNOME though. You're at least I'm using a similar DM. Um, Build time start. Okay, so the next thing I need to work on and I need to really fix the this. I think this will make this unhappy, but whatever. I hair Ubuntu with a passion. I see. Um, I mean, I don't dislike Ubuntu all that significantly, but it's also not the like, it's what I started with a while back, and it no longer does what I wanted to do with it. So a best way of phrasing it is I grew out of it. Now I'm using Arch. I'm using actually Endeavor OS. Pardon the whole making it look like I started an Arch distro from scratch. No, um, I'm using a different distro per se, but it's Arch backed. So yeah, was a little lazy. Garuda. Oh, interesting. With a BSP Windows Manager. I haven't heard of that. Oh, I'll take a something interesting to look up next time. Yar. See. All right. And then now it's complaining that all these other files doesn't have the right namespace, but I can deal with that. Nice, nice. I'm using working for a company. Got it. Yeah, I'm working for a company myself, so I am doing this basically on whatever little free time I have. Type time manager is not found. That is Yakua's. That is not the right space. This. Speaking of which, okay, that didn't do it. Does this do it? Nope, that doesn't do it. Nope. Oh, I don't know what that's. What did I do there? Oh, that doesn't do it. Trying to figure out how to Oh wait. Oh, that. Wow, home and end doesn't work either. There we go. Okay, control home and end. Making an Unreal project in your free time. That's very cool. One day I will learn Unreal. Um, Unreal is easy. It's just daunting. Well, in fairness, I'm on Linux right now, and it sounds already daunting trying to figure out how to compile Unreal 4 on Linux. But that's not the primary reason why I haven't really bothered to learn it. For a long time, I didn't have the hardware that would run it. But Unity would run, right? So, I mean, I do have, Windows, obviously. So, oh, it works fine on Lutris. Interesting. We'll take a look at that sometime. You'll need Windows to build a project. Makes sense. Does Unreal even export to Linux at all? I I don't recall it making binaries for that OS. I do recall it does make binaries for Mac. Given that it's compiled, I would assume you'd need the Mac machine to pull that off. Yeah, I dual boot as well, just for benchmarks and sense. Okay, that looks ugly, but it did exactly what I thought it would do, and that's good. Um, Unapplied import settings. Yes, apply it. The Windows version exports to everything pretty much. Not sure about Mac. Because I know Unreal does export to Mac nowadays, but it's really strange. Linux version of Unreal compiles for Linux, so it's really not worth it. Interesting. Boop. So here's the folder, web domain verifier and web security settings. This one actually contains the old settings. Um, that's what I want to grab. Show this name, copy, delete these, rename that to asset, good. Name this to that. There, that fixed that problem. I don't like the order of how that thing appears. That doesn't look good. That makes me incredibly unhappy. Where is the ordering? Because I'm lazy. It's just simple order of operations. There we go. Take advantage of. Oh, that looks so ugly. I don't need that icon. Yes, I'm always this fickle. And it doesn't have a new line here, which it should. There we go. All right, that looks good. Um, it would be nice if there was a way to copy and paste this. Would be nice. There probably is. I'm getting distracted, but whatever. I'm gonna do this. Um, this is a spacer header. Uh, drop a label there. Um, code hint and text. Take advantage of this web security feature by adding in the following code. And of course, it does not. Actually, in all seriousness, how does it? So that one is header. And there's also dot indent. I can just say dot indent. Then display, that's fine. Position, flex, direction, wrap. Yeah, wrap. Okay, that's cool. This is the first time I'm learning how to use this, so that's cool. Well, second time. Code hint, then uh, should be some sort of. Is there a search bar for this? That would be nice if there is. No, there isn't. Ooh, toolbar breadcrumbs. Interesting. Not useful here. Property field. That's also useful. Choice